Hi, Norman. Hi, Norman. Hello.
Hello, guys.
Bruce. Hi, I'm Bruce. How are you?
Hey, hi, Joe. I'm fine. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, too.
Sorry, I'm a bit late. Just been busy. Just coming in.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
How is everyone else? Martin? Hello. Hi, good evening. Hello. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hey, yeah, good evening, Jordan.
Okay, awesome. Nice to hear your song. Yeah, so yeah, so I hope you guys were able to install all the necessary tools that I had shared you guys to download. Yeah, because this week we're gonna be learning a lot of marathon. Will be Kipchoge this week. So yeah, there is a. So last week we did take a look at the payable functions. We did take a look at the payable functions, how we can be able to like make functions payable, so that they receive a need, not a need, but a seller. They are able to receive, the contract can be able to receive sellers. Yeah. So remember the reason why smart contracts were created was for companies to be able to create, or startups to be able to create ICOs, and they would be able to do the normal distribution of shares, like IPO, from private sale all the way to ICO. That is the initial coin offer. It's the normal way shares are done. They normally have the angel investors. They normally have angel investors. Let me show you the process for investment. Plan. It's called kind of company investment plan, investment stages. Yeah. So they normally call them like Series A, Series B, Series C funding. Like the first stage of funding is the seed funding, and then there is, let me open this one, because this one really has a good, this one has a good plan. Yeah. So yeah, so they normally have the self-funding. So normally the entrepreneur, or you guys, if you ever think of moving as entrepreneurs, there will be that self-funding. So you want to fund your project from your own saving, from the earnings that you have been earning from your previous previous job, or either from your family. So normally known as self-funding or bootstrapping. So you can still be working and at the same time be funding your project. Then there is the seed capital. So somebody who believes in you is able to come in and at least help you a little bit to it can be your mentor, it can be your family, it can be your friend who gives you enough capital, at least a small capital to get you started. And then we have the venture capitalist. So this is where the venture capitalist comes in. They help you. So under the seller ecosystem, there is a lot of venture capitalists who are really looking to help startups, who are looking to help startups build their applications and build their companies. Recently, we have had something for those who were there in the event last week. We had Charles, who is a founder in residence, and we also have Saffron, who is building Kukuzadao, who is also a founder in residence. and they are being built. They are being taught how to do leadership and stuff like that, and how they can be able to build their company so that it becomes really an awesome job. So you're not just learning how to build smart contracts under the Celo ecosystem, but also on how you can be able to come up with your own companies and how to create your own companies. So then there is the venture capitalist. So these guys have deep pockets. Is it right to say deep pockets? I don't know. They have pockets fully loaded. Yeah, they have fully loaded pockets. Yeah. So these guys can give you grants of I think more than 1 million or something, depending with your project. Then there is also a Series A investor. Then there is Series B and C. Yeah. And this means that now you are getting more and more funding. You are getting a lot of attention from different companies, from different institutions. And then before now you go for the initial public offer. That is the IPO. Now when the company is open for the public to actually buy into to buy shares. Yeah. So the most crucial parts also when you are doing the coin development or ICO development, that is the initial coin development. These are the most very crucial stages. These are the very most crucial stages. The self-funding, if you have a lot of capital from your family, from friends, and from the investment that you had previously, and for the seed capital, you will be able to like have a lot of you will be able to have a lot of good start. Yeah. And also when you are studying in these 3 stages, you also want to really have a great team, a cool team, a team that really focuses more on actions, who are doers and builders, rather than marketers who just market things that have not been achieved. Yeah. So these are the really crucial parts. Yeah. So you've seen a lot of companies being funded. Of late, we had Bitmama. I think Bitmama was funded and really raised a lot of funds. So yeah. So the same thing when you are structuring your ICO, you really need to know like how many coins do you really need to set aside for your team? How many funds do you really need to set as for the company development, and how many coins do you really want to save for the venture capitalist, because they give money in return of your coin. And yeah, so I felt like I really wanted to share something on the ICO, because we have been building the coin, and I've seen a lot of African projects fail due to lack of like having an organized way for funding their projects, an organized way, like a structured way for building their projects. Yeah. So having said that, we can actually do recap on what we did last week and what we will be doing this week. So let me open up my VS Code, my VS Code. I hope you guys were able to install all those tools, because we are no longer using Limits IDE. This week, we have been able to understand some of the tools. Yeah. But if you really feel stuck, and you really want to practice more, you can use Remits. There is also a link that I sent out on the group for you guys to take a look. And yeah. So today we are going to continue on the Uniswap clone. So this one is the complete Uniswap clone. It's not that it doesn't really look similar to the Uniswap completely. So this is Uniswap. Let me share Uniswap. .org. So this is the Uniswap GitHub repo. You can take a look at it more. It's a clone of the Uniswap. It's a clone of the Uniswap. And yeah, so we can just visit the application and see how it looks like. And this is what we'll be building. So far we have actually built the token part. We have built the ERC20 part. So what today we'll be creating the yield farm .solidity or .sol. Yeah. So this is how Uniswap looks like. It's just the same as Uniswap for those who have used Uniswap. And a minute. And don't know if I had deployed this one. Okay, I haven't deployed this one, but I can do so that we can be able to see what we'll be creating. A minute. So yeah, so this is the Uniswap, and then here we have the swap. Then we have the pool. So this is the liquidity pool, like adding or creating a pair or adding a liquidity pool. So a liquidity pool is where people come together and they create a pair, like let's say Mula or CC coin and Uniswap, or Celo and Uniswap. And they provide liquidity for that particular coin. So let's say I have Ubi coins, Ubi token, and then Martin has Ubi token, and the rest of the class has Celo token, and they want to buy or to swap coins, to swap Ubi for in any time they want, anytime. So they will just the coins will be pulled out on the liquidity pool. So if a liquidity pool has a lot of coins, that's where they will get cash. Yeah. Then we have farm. So this one is like yield farming, like you earn on staking. You earn on staking. So you deposit your liquidity provider tokens to receive Ubi, and then you are given a chance to double your coins. That's why I call it yield farming. And then this one is for optics bridge. So you can swap Celo for Ethereum and Ethereum for Celo, and also vice versa. So yeah. So yeah, they have a lot of other coins like CDAI, CETH, CSI, CUNI, a lot of them are, and then we have MakerDAO and Uni itself, USDT. So you can just select what you want, and then if you want Ethereum for Celo, yeah, something like that. And the good thing is that Ethereum wallets are compatible with the Celo wallet. Yeah. Then we have the staking. So we won't be able to like create all of this stuff because we have other projects that we really want to do. We have the USSD. Yeah. So this is what we'll be creating. So stake and staking, like this is what we'll be doing. You stake and unstake. This is what we'll be creating. So let's see. Just a minute. Yeah, but before we create that, we need the backend, of which the backend is our smart contracts. Let me see. Should be. Okay, so at least it's loading, and since I don't have my wallet here, I cannot be able to just use this other. Okay, yeah. So it connects with the Celo wallet. Well, it's quite easy. It's quite easy so long as you have the smart contract of that particular token. The smart contract address contains a lot of things, and the good thing about blockchain or open source application is that they are open, so you can always be able to find their code and their code and everything. Yeah. So let me see. Stay in hash. Okay, so you can see you can be able to connect to the this local development. So this one is on the local development. That's why I told you guys to install of all these things, so that we are able to you are able to follow up on the class and lessons. So yeah, so you can be able to connect to the Celo extension wallet, and you can be able to select which account you want you want it to access the website. And so it will be able to view the address of your permitted accounts, and then can be able to connect. So it's already connected. So this is what we'll be doing. Currently, I don't have any coins. So yeah. So I'm really excited. I'm really excited on what we are going to build together. So this is what we are building. Amount to stake, and then yeah, the coin that you want to stake. Yeah. So you can unstake and stake. So that's the only functionality we are going to build, and then you can later on build it up and create more. Yeah. So who is excited for this build? Okay, I don't know whether I'm the only one who is excited.
Yeah, we'll be excited if part of the account can go to our real life account.
Well, once the reward should be able to go to your account later once you deploy it on the mainnet. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. Pole sana if your mic is not working, Martin. But I'm really excited for this one, for this build. Yeah. So when I was preparing this build, I didn't think that it was something which was going to be possible, but yeah. So you can see you have selected your wallet. So this is what we are going to do. So we'll have the address, the part where you select the address, the part where you do the staking. So I don't have the coins right now. I don't have the coins, but on the next build, we'll be able to deploy it. We'll be able to deploy, and then we will be able to actually see the balance that we've been testing here, the balance that we have been testing here, and we'll be able to see. Yeah. So that's it. This is the Ubi swap cron, and this is the little Ubi swap. Then we have this Ubi swap cron, which is already complete. This one is complete. Yeah. And then we have the starter, we have the starter Ubisoft cron starter code. So this one is the starter code that you will have to download. You'll have to download this as your starter code so that you can be able to use, we can be able to follow along. So inside this folder, inside this Ubisoft starter code, we have migration, and then we have public, and then we have source, we have utility, and then we have Truffle config. So hope you guys were able to install Truffle, because we really need Truffle in this build. And we also need, we really don't need Ganache. So we need Node.js, Truffle, and React.js for this build. So yeah. So I already have the build. Let me show you the components of the, or inside the folders, what we have. So this is the project, and what we have here, we have the migration. So inside the migration file, what we have is the initial migration. So this is what does when you do Truffle migrate. This is the first script that is initiated. This is the first script which is initiated. And then we have the second one, deploy. So this one deploys, this one is the script that deploys the contracts. So we had, so like I told you, you have to duplicate the code of the previous code that we did for the ERC20 token. So if you didn't do, don't worry that much, because we'll be able we will be able to get it on the starter contract. Yeah. So we'll have two contracts. This is like a replica of the Celodora, and this other one is the Ubisoft coin, the Ubisoft coin, and then this is the smart contract that does the yielding. This is the contract that does the magic of rewarding you when you do the staking. Yeah, and this now the script that does the deployment now. And then we'll be able to know what all of these lines really means and why they are like that. Yeah. Then these are just your node modules. Then we have the public. So for those who have done React, we have the public folder that contains the build manifest once you have deployed your site. Then I did some changes for the normal folder structure for Celo is quite different. We normally have the folders all together, and then this source folder together with the public are normally in the client. They are normally in the client folder. So they are normally in the client folder. So the client folder contains SRC source, contains public, and then it contains assets, the normal assets, and some other files. So I did some changes. I altered some things so that we can use the same node modules together instead of having two separate folders. Let me show you the folder structure for the normal builds for Celo. So if you are building the good thing about Celo blockchain or blockchain itself is that once you master React, then it will be easy for you to master React Native because it doesn't really use a lot. So you can see there is a big difference between this one. So this is the client folder that contains all the development folders. So it contains the components, assets, screens, services, and the app.js. So that is the client. And then you can see we have the node modules. Then here we have now the contracts. So we normally have the contracts outside. We have the migration, and then we have node modules. We have utils and env, and then we have Truffle bots and Truffle config and everything. So for this build, I wanted to use one node modules because it will really save space for us when you're doing. But if you're doing a build for a complex application, it's good to have them in a separate way. And then notice that we have inside this folder, we also have the contracts again. So this contracts contains the JSON APIs. Yeah. So for this one, we have the APIs. I just called them the APIs. But it should be contract so that they cannot be able to contradict, because I saved every folder there, every file in there. Yeah. So it's quite simple. It's a simple build, and that's why I was trying to utilize, or I'm utilizing one node modules. Yeah. So yeah, that's it, and that is it on the file folder for source. So source contains the APIs. So these APIs are the ones which will be consuming this one. I'll objects, JSON objects, and arrays and everything. So for people who have already or have an experience consuming APIs, it will be a walk in the park. Then we have the components. So these are just the normal components, which are reusable components, which you can be able to reuse in different pages. And then we have the index.js, the ones that is rendered yeah. And then we have root.js. So root.js contains the Web3 and the connection. So this is like the connection between the Celo test network, and if you want to deploy your smart contract to the mainnet, you will be able to do that. So how about the front end? How do we store them? So yeah, this is what we'll be doing. So this application is basically a full stack or a full stack application, whereby we have the smart contract for backend and front end is React.js. Yeah. So this is how you provide a connection between the Celo network. So whether it's the test or the main network. So right now I've committed the mainnet and I'm using the Celo testnet. So this is the link for the Celo testnet. And yeah, so yeah. Then we have the service workers. This is just for React JS, which is normally initiated by the once you start the React JS. Yeah. Then we'll have the utilities. So utilities, the contract, which will create a contract and an account address for you that you will be deploying with, the one that you will be deploying or will be using to deploy your contract. It should, once you learn it, you should have a private key generated at .secret. Yeah, should have a private key. So if I take this private key and add it here, it should give me my wallet address. So import. So yeah, there. So this is the wallet that I've been using for development, and yeah. Then we have the get account. So this one is also the script for generating an account on the Celo blockchain for your development. And then we have these other ones, Babel. We have git ignores for ignoring the environment. So never deploy your env environment variables. So you have to, and also your node modules, you don't have to upload them. Yeah, and the error logs. Yeah. Then we have the package.json. So under package.json, we have all the dependencies and libraries that we are going to use. So on this build, we are going to make use of the Celo contract kit, the Babel preset, we have Chai, we have identity con, we are not going to use it a lot. Then we will utilize Truffle and also Web3. So Web3, Truffle, and React scripts, and the rest for frontend. So for backend, we are going to use Truffle, and yeah. Then we have Truffle Config. So Truffle Config contains a lot of configurations. It has the connection where your smart contract will connect with the Celo blockchain testnet, and then with the contract kit, the address itself. So it's going to be getting the address that we have generated using the get account, and then yeah, then you will here once when you want to deploy to the mainnet. This for local development, if you have Ganache. So if you have Ganache, and then this one is for Truffle Alpha Holes. If you want to deploy it to the mainnet, to the testnet, and then if you want to deploy to the mainnet, this is where you do your configuration. You can also do configuration of your compiler, and where your contract directory, where Truffle will be reading your contract directories. So it's going to get these contracts, all these contracts from the contracts, and then it will contracts built directly will go to ABIs. So this is where the contract JSON or ABIs will be stored. Yeah. Then this is the compiler version. So you remember the compiler, the settings that we were setting on the Remix IDE, 200 and optimizer enabled is supposed to be true, and it's supposed to be 200. So you can also do the same here. And you can also specify the environment of the Ethereum virtual machine version. So I'm using Petersburg, the same way we were selecting here. Compiler version here, yeah. EVM, so you have the one for Berlin, and yeah. So yeah, it's the same way, it's the same thing we are doing there. Enable optimization 200. So it's the same thing that we are doing here on this truffle.config. Yeah, so that's it, and let's get started. So any question up to now? Or we just left and went to another universe?
Okay, Jada. Hello?
Hello, yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, can you help us with a slide? Maybe just itemize these steps so that when we are doing our own personal practice, it will be easy for one to follow, and then if there's any trouble or any issue, you can know where you can retrace your steps.
Okay. So
Unless we are getting this video immediately. Even with that, at least
okay.
itemizing the step, since we are not using Remix for this course, so it will help a lot. Okay, from this step to that step to this step, you have your contract running.
Okay.
So,
okay.
And definitely you mentioned like React Native now. So some of us it might be new, to some might just be something that they know, but there was a question I asked about, you told us the last class that there is a site you can learn about React Native on the scratch. I was expecting maybe you help us with the link so that on our own it will be something we can now start developing ourselves on. They will just tell you what you have before you know it. Everybody's cool. Thank you.
Okay. So that's a really good thing that you have pointed that. And there is okay, I haven't completed on itemizing or like creating a good guide for this particular clone. And I'm hoping by the end of this week, I'll have a document that really guides you, and a Medium blog that will be guiding you on how to get started on the Ubisoft clone. Yeah. So yeah, I think So is there any other question? Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I'm asking, apart from Ambrose question, is there any other question? Norman, do you have a question, or Iram, or anybody?
I think so far yeah, okay. So do you say do you want us to focus on React or React Native also?
You for this build, we are going to focus on React.js. We are building a web. We are going to focus on React. But don't worry a lot, because it will be just, I'll make it as simple as possible. Yeah. But we are getting,
Okay.
we are going to start with the backend now. So what I want to do right now is to get started on the smart contract, or setting up an environment on the how to get started or set up your smart contract environment before you even go to the React or the front end part. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for getting the using Truffle and Ganache.
Yeah. So that's what I want us to get started. So yeah.
Okay. So, another question. You say for setting up the environment, maybe for me, I'm using Linux. I think it's a bit different from. Are you using Windows?
Yeah. I'm using Windows. So the installation process is also the same, and it should be available for Linux. It should be the same. Should be
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. So if we visit truffle.com, we'll get started from there, and then we move on. Yeah. So and more. So if you go to Truffle Config, there is a command for Truffle, npm install Truffle globally. So you should have done that. You should have installed Truffle globally. And then once you have done that, there is a lot of things that let's print here, like automated contract settings, testing, smart contract lifecycle management, and scriptable deployment and migration script. So this migration script and deployment script is what I've just shown you. We have sample network management, we have powerful interactive console, and yeah. So once you have done that, you can go to docs. So they really have an amazing doc. I mean, should be on kinds of tutorial. Yeah, so they have setting up the development. You really need Node version 8 and npm. You also need Git. You also need npm to that. I think we have already done that. And then we have this one. So we'll get started with this one, and then we continue from that. So yeah, so we'll start from here. So we'll do as the document is guiding us, and then we'll okay. So our folder's name will be, so a folder name will be swap Uniswap, yeah. So let me just name it differently, and then so once we have Uniswap, we can git bash if you have git installed in your system. Or if you don't have git bash, you can do command prompt. For Linux, Tevin will be the guide for Linux people. Yeah. So once we have this, we have our folder. So we can either do Truffle and bots pet, or we can do an already existing contract from Josh. This one from Josh. So Josh has so Josh is the one for developer relation in Cello, and he does a lot of things. So you can also visit his GitHub repo and see the kind of projects that he is doing. So we can use this one. You can either use this one, not this one. Is this one for Dub Kit, and then there is one that he uses Truffle. Let's just use the Truffle, this one. Now what is the one that he has? Under pet shop, we should be able to see different. Drizzle is also a framework, a front-end framework for smart contract. It's really easy to use Drizzle when you are creating smart contracts. Yeah. So the one for Josh is Truffle and bots. Truffle and bots something. Truffle and bots. It should be the upkit. This one, yeah, this one. So this one uses React Native, but you're not going to use it. So yeah, it should be Truffle and bots. Crits Josh / Celodap, but you're not going to use it because this one has already it's already configured with the front end, with the React Native part, but we are going to do a reference from it. Yeah. So you're going to use to Truffle and bots. We are going just to copy the command Truffle and bots. So Truffle and bots. So should find a message suite. Yeah, should give you something like suite. Everything is good. So right now what we are doing, we are setting up the contract part. We are setting up the contract part. We don't have the front-end part. We don't have the front-end part. So we should be able to see a message pop up at the end saying that configuration has been set. Yeah. So let's just give it a minute. And if you have any question, you can ask as we wait for it to download.
Yeah, Jordan.
Yes.
In executing this this pet shop.
Yeah.
Are we going to download the desktop for Uniswap, or because I can see from your screen,
Mhm.
you have you are inside the Uniswap.
I've created I've created a folder named Ubiswap,
Okay.
and then I've git bashed. So if you have git on your system, of which I don't know if I shared git the link for downloading git bash.
No, you did not.
Okay, let me share it right
So
now.
we git batch.
Yeah. So
Batch.
git bash git download.
Jordan,
Yes,
the pet shop is name of folder or it's a whole command?
it's a full command. It's let me paste it on the chat. So it's supposed to be Truffle and bots pet shop. So pet shop is just a scaffold, scaffold like the way buildings have scaffolds. It's something that like it helps you to build a project. It helps you to build a project so that you're not starting from scratch. Yeah. So there is the command. It should be Truffle and bots pet shop. Yeah. You've seen this one, this other one, Truffle and bots crit Josh Celo dApp kit. So this means that if you are creating a dApp kit on Celo, you don't have to start from scratch because there is already a scaffold that you can be able to use and then build on top of it and then continue building on top of it like that. Yeah, the one we have started, this one we will later on change it completely and make it different. Yeah, so it's just a kind of a template that will guide you to get started so that you don't set up the entire thing. Yeah. So you should, yeah. Let me send the link for downloading Git for those who don't have Git. So there is the Git Ambrose. So yeah. So once we have it has already downloaded, you should see unbox successful suite, and then these are the commands that you are going to use. So for Truffle, you will be using Truffle compile when you are compiling. For migrate, so Truffle migrate normally comes with a named command. Normally comes with yes.
Before we have to put that the truffle unbox pet shop command, we have to install truffle on Windows.
Yeah. You must have Truffle installed globally. So let me share the Truffle. It should be npm. It should be npm Truffle. npm Truffle install -g. Should be npm Truffle install -g. Yeah. So we have compile, we have Truffle compile, we have Truffle compile, and then we have Truffle migrate. So Truffle migrate and Truffle test. So you're going to see how we will be doing the Truffle test with Mocha and Chai.
And chai.
Yeah. So for those guys who really like chai, Kenyans do really like chai.
What is chai?
Chai is tea. It's tea. Tea leaves. Tea leaves. And mocha is coffee. Yeah. So
Okay, mocha is coffee.
Yeah. So for those who like mocha and chai, you are covered for the testing part. Yeah. So you eat ganache and truffle, and you finish it with chai or mocha. So yeah, you should see something like this. So truffle compile normally, if you're using for local development, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really like give you a lot of, it doesn't really, it's set default. It's default, like it's default but if you're using Truffle migrate and you want to migrate to either local, so you do -- local according to how you have named your Truffle config, and then you do alpha OS or testnet, depending, again, it depends with how you have configured your Truffle config. Yeah. So once you have done that, you should actually have something like this on your system. So how many of us already have been able to successfully do this? Thumbs up if you have been able to do it.
For me, I'm just following your step. I'm not practicalizing it yet.
Okay.
I'm just following your step. So
okay. I know Ilham. What about you, Ilham? And who is administrator? Hello, admin. Admin, who is the admin? Hello, admin.
It's me, Iram.
Oh, you're the admin.
Hello.
Yes.
Actually, I'll connect my laptop with that.
Oh, okay. Okay, awesome. Martin, have you been able to get past this part? You can type on the chat. Okay, Martin says, oh, awesome. What about Niva? Niva, yeah.
Not yet.
Okay. What about you, Norman?
Yeah, I'm just following because I haven't set up my VS yet.
Oh, okay. Sasa. Okay. And Tevin, I know you haven't set up your environment. You're on Linux, so yeah, it should be the same for Linux. Yeah. It doesn't really require a lot of Sasa. So yeah. So once you have been able to come past this part, then you can actually open your folder with VS Code. So you can use the command like code. Is it code dash with a dot? Yeah, but I normally don't. Yeah. So once you have done that, you should have something like this on your machine, on your folder. You should have something like this. So you should have the contract, the migration script, the Node.js, and then you should have this is new. You should have the source. So this source, we are going to change it into something else. Yeah, we're going to change it to React. We're going to change it into React. So these are, like I said, it's a scaffold. That's why we already have this. So if you are using, if you are a normal, if you are familiar with HTML, you can be able to also do the same. Yeah. Then yeah. Then we have the test. So this folder, we are going to use it a lot, the test. And then we have the Truffle config here. Now we have the Truffle config. So you notice that we only have develop and we don't have the other settings. So we don't have the other, we don't have the other development network. Yeah. And then for package.json, we only have the develop. We don't have a lot of the dependencies here. We only have light server. So we are not going to use the light server. We're going to use that. So this again, we are going to change. We are going to change the package.json. And yeah. And for my case, I really like using Yarn. So this one I'm going to delete because I normally use Yarn. I like Yarn because it's easy to like download things. NPMs normally gives errors like these ones sometimes, which is really bad. It gives me errors like this one a lot of, most of the time actually. So yeah. So yeah, so let's get started. Let's get started. Wow. So yeah, if you have noticed, I've realized that I do the changes, a little bit of changes. We have shifted Mondays and Wednesday for coding, because I believe on Friday people really want to have their free time. So on Friday we'll be doing theory, if that's okay. Yeah. Hello. You can type on the chat if that's okay. Okay. Let's continue. I'll assume that's a yes.
One question. So
Yes.
you type Truffle unit, it will automatically give you all this.
Yeah. You can also do Truffle. You can also do Truffle init, but if you have a specific scaffold that you really want to access, if you have a specific, like I had the pet shop scaffold that I wanted to access. If you have a specific
Okay.
yeah, if you have a specific template that you want to access. So I wanted to access the one for I wanted to access the one for pet shop. Yeah. But later on, if you are doing DApp, if you're doing DApp kit is for decentralized application or for Android applications, not Android, but for mobile application. So you can use the one that I have shown you. I've shown you this one. This one. You can use this one. So it's just a boilerplate, it's a boilerplate or something. Yeah. You can use this one, but you can still do Truffle init. It will do the same thing, Truffle init and everything. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, let's awesome questions. Keep them coming. Yeah. So just a few minutes and then so what we need to do is we need to get started on installing the packages. So we need to start installing on the packages. Yeah. So we need to get started on installing the packages. So like I've mentioned, I really don't like using this one. But before we get there, let's just first of all start with the Truffle config. So let's get started with Truffle config. So we have the development here. So the development is, we have the port ID, we have the network ID. So you select, it can match any network that you have been able to select, but the port will be different. So how do you know when you are using MetaMask, or when you are using the Celo wallet? Here. When you're using Celo extension wallet, just a few minutes. Okay, and we have the settings. Yeah. So under settings, whether MetaMask or Celo extension wallet, they are developer settings. Just like the way we do have developer options in Android and iOS, MetaMask provide developers option where you can generally like create a way that you can be able to use it for local development. So here we have networks. So here you can add a network. So you can add a local network. You can give it a name like Jordan's network. So this will be my local network, and then the URL link that is that will be this one. Will be this one. So that will be this one. Then it should be HTTP localhost or something. Let me just get the settings for my MetaMask. Let me just get the settings for my MetaMask. Settings for my MetaMask. Okay, so it's under settings. It's the same thing for Celo extension. And if you go to networks, so you can see I have different networks. So we have the mainnet, Lobster test network, and then I have the Jordan chains. And then I have two local networks. So I have this one, and then I have this one. So they are pre-configured differently. And then here I have the Celo mainnet, and then the Celo upper testnet, and then Celo baklava. And I also have the Polygon. So if I take a look at this one, so this is what I was looking for. And just copy it, and then we have chain ID, which is optional. And yeah, so this is what I was looking for. So the Truffle config is already predefined for or preset for local net, for local test network. So these other ones are just optional. These ones are optional. Those ones are optional. You can use a block explorer. This one you really don't need to have this one like the block explorer or anything. They are just optional because you are doing local development, and that's why you have Ganache. So Ganache will be the one to show you that. So once we have added, we can just save it now. So we have set our local development test network, and yeah, so it should connect to this network, but since I haven't started it, it will like now. We'll do it on Wednesday. So Wednesday we'll be able to switch to the local network. Yeah. So that is the development, and then we need to change. We need to change this port. This one is for Ethereum. So this one for Ethereum. So this port is mainly for Ethereum. So what we want to do here, we need to change it. We need to name it to give it a different name, like alpha holders. And then the port name should be 44787. So this is the port name for the alpha holders. So then we'll have the other one. We'll have the other one, which will be main. Which will be mainnet. And remember to put your comma, because this one is JSON object. Then we'll have network ID. These actually should be network ID. It shouldn't be port. Shouldn't be port. It should be network ID. Should be network ID, and this one should be network ID. So seller port network ID is 42220. Yeah. So that is the network ID for seller. And yeah. So for us to, right now it won't be able to connect because we haven't provided the provider. We haven't provided the provider. So we need to provide the provider, and to get the provider, we have to install one. We have to install what we call contract kit. So what is contract kit? Seller contract kit. This one. So seller contract kit is a library to help developers and validators interact with the seller blockchain, and is well suited to developers looking for an easy way to connect to the seller blockchain. So this is what we're going to install. We're going to install the seller contract kit, and another library, the Web3.js itself, Web3.js. So Web3.js is a collection of libraries that allows you to interact with a local or remote Ethereum node. So this one will help us to interact with a local remote node on the seller blockchain. Yeah. So we need to install that. So first of all, we'll start with the contract kit. So we can either use yarn or think I'm going to delete this one and this one so that we can be able to use Yarn, or we move on with npm. Let's just move on with npm. So you remember the terminal that we had. So we can actually close this and use this terminal now on the VS Code. So you're going to copy the npm install Axelo contract kit, and then that's the terminal initiate, and then you're going to paste it there and then install. So as it installs, there are some few more settings that we'll do. We'll add. So below, so under the network, we'll create a comma there and then create the contracts. So the contracts underscore directory will be SRC, be SRC. So we are going to move this we are going to move this contract into this folder, going to move it into this folder. Yeah. So make sure you are following up and you are actually doing it so that yes.
It show me error.
You can share your screen. Let me make you a host and you share.
Okay.
You can share your screen now.